The 2023 African Cup of Nations, known for short as the 2023 AFCON or CAN 2023 and for sponsorship purposes as the Total Energies 2023 Africa Cup of Nations, is scheduled to be the 34th edition of the biennial African Association football tournament organized by Confederation of African Football. It will be hosted by Ivory Coast for the second time and the first since 1984. This edition of the tournament was initially planned to be the third since 2019 to take place during the Northern Hemisphere summer. In order to reduce scheduling conflicts with European club teams and competitions, however, it was postponed by CAF to January 13, February 11, 2024 on July 3, 2022 due to the adverse summer weather concerns in Ivory Coast, whilst retaining the edition's original name for sponsorship purposes. This followed the 2021 edition in Cameroon also being moved to the Northern Hemisphere's winter season for similar reasons. Senegal are the defending champions. Alassane Ouattara Stadium, commonly known as the Olympic Stadium of Ibimpe and formerly as the National Stadium of the Ivory Coast, is a multi-purpose stadium in Ibimpe and Enyima, in northern Abidjan. It opened in 2020. The Félix Houphouët-Boigny Stadium, nicknamed Le Felicia, is a multi-purpose stadium, which can host football, rugby union and athletics, in Abidjan, Ivory Coast. It is the former national stadium of the Ivory Coast national football team. Stade de la Paix is a multi-use stadium in Bouaké, Côte d'Ivoire. It is currently used mostly for football matches. The stadium holds 40,000 people. Along with Stade Félix Houphouët-Boigny, it was constructed for the 1984 African Nations Cup. Amadou Gon Coulibaly Stadium is a football stadium in Korogo, Ivory Coast. The stadium has a capacity of 20,000 seats. The construction began in September 2018 and ended in September 2023. The stadium is named after Amadou Gon Coulibaly, who was Prime Minister from 2017 to his death in 2020. Laurent Pokou Stadium is a football stadium in San Pedro, Ivory Coast. The stadium has a capacity of 20,000 seats. The construction of the stadium began in September 2018. The stadium will host matches for the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations, an international men's football competition across Africa. Charles Konan Banny Stadium is a football stadium in Yamoussoukro, Ivory Coast that was inaugurated on June 3, 2022. This was the fourth among the 6 stadiums for the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast. It was designed by an association formed of Alcor, Sogia Satam, Aegis and Baudin Chateauneuf.